Hey, Fitzy here, back at again with another one. And this one I'm going to show you how to make an aluminum fan shroud. Nice simple little project, something easy you can do with simple tools. Stick around. Okay, let's get started here. I got a new radiator, new fans. The owner's going to cut the holes out for the fans because he's not sure if he wants to put them corner to corner, straight across yet. So I said I'll leave that up to you. All I got to do is I got to make a box. Now, mounting electric fans onto these radiators, if you mount them like this, you're going to draw air just from, you know, that area there. So all this section of the radiator here and this section of the radiator here is not going to draw nothing from it. Okay, what I like to do is if you mount these about an inch up off them, okay, and you put a box all the way around it, it will draw air from there, right? So you'll get more of a cooling capacity by doing so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an aluminum box that'll come up about an inch off the body here, right? And it'll come up to here and down to this lip here, and then it'll just fit down over it and mount on these two tabs on the bottom here, and on the top you can put two little mounting clips. And it'll just sit on the side and lay against this here, and you can probably put a little rubber seal or something on it so it doesn't rub through it. But I'm going to roll the edge on it so it's not a sharp edge. And then it'll just be a box with the sides bent over on it. I had a piece of steel here from the previous job, and so I went ahead and I marked it out and I cut it off the sizes that I wanted. What I did previous is I sat down and I drew up my little plan of what I wanted, lengths, widths, and folds, and the size of the folds. I'll explain it now as I go, what I'm going to do with the bends and stuff like that to get it all. But I went ahead and I measured it off and turn around. I got the length of it here, which is 25 inches across here, this section here, that's 25 inches. And I just measured up to here, measured up my 20.5 overall measurement that I want. And I marked that off. Now that's just a regular pen. I find the pen is better for marking it, and because you're getting to see it. Pencils, I find I'm having trouble using pencils. I got these here, which are wood construction ones, and sharpen them, and then they goes dull very quick. So the pen marks it nice enough. Now, how do I cut it? This stuff is very, very brittle. Running tin snips through it, it's going to kink it up and mark it a lot. So I like to cut it with the grinder. I'm going to show you now. And you get a very clean cut. Like here's a cut here on this end here that you get. Hang on now, that's not the clean cut. There's a clean cut there, right along that edge there. And there's no kinks or no marks, nothing on the edge of it. I got to file the edge of it off a bit, right, to get a nice smooth edge on it. And I'm going to go up here now, I'm going to cut this one off. Now I got a straight edge there to use as my guide. I'll lay that on there. I don't want to clamp it on though because it'll mark the aluminum. All I'm going to do is we're going to tape it in place. All he wants there is a guide, just something to have a straight edge to go along. That'll keep that from moving back and forth. And I'll just run the grinder next to it there. See, you got a nice little straight edge going along there. Now to start with, I'll just take the file now and I'll file all that off and get the edge off of that and start taking the measurements. Okay, I got the corners cut out. Quick little tip. When you're bending over flanges and edges like this here, always drill a little hole right in your very corner of your bends. All I did is I just took a drill bit and drilled a little corner, a little hole here, a little hole here, and a little hole here, and then I cut into the hole. But the hole is partially into the panel. If you look at the lines, they pass through it like that, so it's partially in the line. So that way when you fold up these corners, you don't get this big kink in the corner like you normally would. You'll get a nice smoother edge, right? Just a little trick there to so you make a nice back section. If you ever bent up boxes, you'll find that the corners are always high. So this helps avoid that. So now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over this edge here, all the way around, just the first one, and then flatten that out this way. So that'll give me my nice smooth edge that I can go up against, and over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead now over the brake, and I'm going to go bend up these here. These two here I can bend up in the brake. These two here are going to have to bend up on the I-beam, because I can't fit both of them in there because it's not a box pan. Well, I know. No, I might be able to do it because that's a fairly big bend. I can bend this one in this way here and this one in through that one. I'll do these two first then. Alright, give it a try. This stuff's a dream to bend. So here's all I went and did. I got them bent over. I bent them over as far as I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten them out first before I do the other ones. I went and put some tape on the top of my I-beam, just so try not to mark that up too much. And I'm just going to take a couple of blocks of wood there now and lay them on the ends, just to give me a bit of support here. And I'm going to hammer that over there. A nice clean little edge there. So there it is now. All the lips are bent over, so we got nice smooth edges here now. So I'm going to worry about them rubbing through on anything. So now next thing I do is I got to bend this upper lip here. This will be the lip that will rest on the outer edge that you'll mount to. This will be the mounting point right here. I'll bend that this way. And then this one here got to be bent this way, down. So I'm trying to figure out, not sure I bend them or them first. I should bend these first because I'm going to have to do them on the I-beam. What's going to happen there? Because they're going to be an issue. I'll assume have these nice and clean first. So I'll make these bends here first. Make this first bend and then that second bend. I was bending over that first bend and there's nothing underneath to grab that, so I gotta actually come back here and bend that back. That extra ½ inch that I was talking about that I made a mistake in doing, that wouldn't have happened if I had to leave that on it. Over bend the next one now. Bend that lip over there. Looks better. So now I'm going to go over and bend that one now. And I got the two of them bent over, as you can see. And they're ready to go. Now I got to bend over the two ends, bend them up this way. So what I got to do now is, it would be nice if you cut a piece of steel, the same width as this here for on top of your rod beam. I have a small piece here that'll work for me, and I'm going to take my time doing it, but I would recommend cutting off a piece of steel that fits in between the box to do a tidier job on it. I'm just going to take my time with it here now, because you move this too much, you're going to fool up the end of it, right? That will go there. Line that up on the edge of that as well. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to bend so much of this end here, and then I'm going to move the angle iron over here. I'll finish off that other end, see? Better to do it with one piece that's the right length. Like you can make this shroud out of steel as well. It's just that this is on a race car and the guy's concerned about weight. Just come back here and finish it off. This is what you're left with, this rolled edge. So now I'll go do the other side now and bend that over, same way. So now there's my first test fit. And what I got to do now is I got to trim back. If you look back here, I got to trim back these two corners. But I'm just going to notch them up so that it comes up high enough to, and leave the lip there so the back section's on the top as well. And I'll do that on all four corners. So this lip here will then lay on this edge here. That's what I'm going to do. But that's basically the whole concept of it. And over on this side here, as you can see, this here will just come down and go flush to this section here. It'll be against the welding section, so it'll be nice and strong. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to mark them off and cut them and test it again. So there it is. It fits right on that lower lip. On there, so that he can drill a hole through that there, and he can bolt it on there and bolt it on there, and then do the same up on this end up here. He can bolt it on here and bolt it on there across the front, and you can see the nice little seam going across here. I had to notch it down here for the lower rad hose pipe. I had to notch it there to clear the welding. Other than that, it'll fit real good all the way around, right? So, and you can see right here on these corners, when I drill a hole, how nice that rolled edge is now. It doesn't pucker up. It's got a nice edge on it, all the way around the corners. Okay. And you were seeing me rolling over the edges on the thing, so I'll take it over here and show you. By rolling over the edges, like most of you would just think about just bending that up and they'd be done with it. By rolling over this edge is now rolled it over and inside itself again. I haven't got a sharp edge here now. Plus, I also got a sticker here, so it's a lot stronger. Okay? Same with back here. I got this rolled over edge. This goes over and then goes into here. Would have been nicer if it was a little bit longer and went into this rolled edge, but that's fine. You're not going to see it anyway. But you can see now, like this is not a sharp edge, and this here got a lot of strength because it's a lot thicker now. Like, putting something together, like, right off the bat, you would think, okay, let's just go make this out of heavy aluminum. You could, but everything is weight. Like, this weighs nothing. Right? There's no weight to this at all. I learned something a long time ago when it came to, like even modern day cars, you could see that they got away from heavy cars because they were trying to save fuel economy and weight and stuff like that, reduce the weight. And everything started to turn into how things were structurally put together more than strength. Like you can plate stuff up and make stuff heavy, but if you design a piece of steel properly, and put the right bends in it, and it's going to be stronger, or just as strong as a heavier plate steel, right? So now we got that there all bent up. You can see where I put the little notches in it, and I kept it so it was the same height as the corners, and I just notched it out, and then I filed it off, and right? All that was done with basic tools, nothing fancy. I got a break there, but it's something that you can easily make. You could have done all these bends on this piece of I-beam if you wanted to, and all you would have to do is like, I'd recommend you would have to cut lengths of angle iron or plate or something heavy, box steel, something that you can clamp inside the right diameters in here so you can actually get a nice bend on it, right? So I got a fit in place here now. I got the fans laid on it. The owner is not quite sure if he's going to put them diagonally or straight across yet. You got to check for clearances and whatnot. So he's going to cut that out himself. But all he's going to do now is mark it. On the outside here, like I say, just go around and mark it, and then you just take the thickness of it here inside where you want it to, because that's the inner edge there, and then you just mark another line on the inside on your mark on this here, on your circle here, and then you just cut this out with, say, a jigsaw, right? You cut it out. You can probably cut a big, large section of it out, but it's probably easier to do it with a jigsaw. Probably put tape on it would be the best thing, because that way we won't mark it up as much. Like tape up the whole area, and then mark it out with a pencil, and then move it in probably 1/4 of an inch or more, and then just turn around and drill a hole in it, and then cut it out with a skill saw, and you'll have a hole right there then for them fans. These are great to have on a lot of vehicles. Now he's drawing air from here. Because of this 1 inch space up here, everything is going to have to pass through the fan. So air coming in through the front now is going to be forced to go in here. So it's going to cool the radiator even better. As always said, fan shrouds were always much better, right? But that's a quick little one. Simple little fan shroud you can make. You can make that out of steel if you want to, if you're building a hot rod. Or aluminum, like you don't need nothing heavy. This aluminum is 20 gauge aluminum. It's thin and very easy to work with. But as you can see now, there's lots of strength to all that. They'll add strength to it, and the bends and the way I got it done, it'll add strength to it. But it's a neat little project. It's something you can make yourself. You don't need a lot of tools to do it. And you know, these little roll edges are just a nice little feature to put on them. I like putting them on a lot of stuff because you always end up cutting your hands on these edges down the road. If you just bent that on a 90 and bent this out, I just had this raw out here, and this edge would have no strength. Now it's twice as thick, so you know that's got a pretty heavy flange on it here and on the sides of it as well to give the whole thing strength. Anyway, I hope the tips were good, and until next time.